You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
5 weeks to Election Day, local Democrats set to name a new congressional candidate after the sudden death of April Freeman. The latest on a roundabout at State Road 64 and Pope Road after 2 high school students were killed there last week. And Northport Police just got bigger. They swore in 5 new officers. Details on the way. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning. Up to Friday now. I'm Ray Collins. Today, Stephanie Webb is off sick. Let's get to the forecast. And John, I cannot believe the thunder boomers last night.
Oh, there were a lot of them, especially around midnight.
Yes.
I think there was one cell that was a little bit closer to the coastline that kind of woke a lot of us up, I think. Most of the rain, most of the rain by far was in inland areas, but still, we have a chance of seeing the same sort of thing occur again today. Mostly late afternoon or early evening, showers and thunderstorms will start up, and then it'll linger through probably around the midnight hour before dissipating away. Rain chance about 30%, about what it was yesterday. Most of the heaviest of the rain, again, will be in inland areas, but right now, everything is pretty quiet across the area. We've got the residual cloud cover left over from the midnight storm now lifting northward, and we're left with a mostly sunny start to the day. I think once dawn breaks on the Suncoast, a few clouds will linger, but those will mix away in pretty short order. Temperatures across the region are generally holding in the low to upper 670s, depending on where you are. Love to have some 60s. Otherwise, watch for temperatures again today to climb up to around 91. We'll have showers starting in the late afternoon, but really kind of kicking in around evening time and lingering through about the midnight hour. Complete forecast for you in just a few.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Today, our roving camera is out and about at the Nathan Benderson Park, where the 2018 World Rowing Masters Regatta. Older rowers are involved in this one. 700 participants from around the world are here for this big event. We'll have a preview for you this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. Let's check the roads right now. First alert traffic showing nothing to report so far in Manatee County. So far, so good. Checking farther south, this is the scene in upper Sarasota County, northern Sarasota County. Nothing in the red so far. And then farther south, we'll check that map, and it looks like a little blip there on 41 northbound as you travel through War Mineral Springs between the Venice and Northport line. Otherwise, nothing to report at 5:02 this morning. A vote is set for today on the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh to the U.S. Supreme Court. As ABC's Lana Zach tells us, this follows an emotional he said, she said battle on Capitol Hill.
Senators on Capitol Hill have spent the night trying to reconcile 2 emotionally charged and diametrically opposed testimonies. Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, the reluctant accuser.
I am here today not because I want to be.
And Judge Brett Kavanaugh fighting for his reputation.
You may defeat me in the final vote, but you'll never get me to quit. Never.
Both testimonies emotional.
The laughter, the uproarious laughter between the two.
I've never sexually assaulted anyone.
But both certain.
None of these allegations are true.
0.
With what degree of certainty do you believe Brett Kavanaugh assaulted you?
100%.
Over the course of more than 8 hours, the tension at times spilled over. Democrats frustrated by the lack of an FBI investigation, and Republicans frustrated that the allegation was revealed so late in the process.
What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020.
Kavanaugh at times joining in the partisan fight.
This whole 2-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit, fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump and the 2016 election, revenge on behalf of the Clintons. This is a circus.
But beyond the political animus, there is the story of a woman who detailed how she survived a sexual assault. Her courage hailed on both sides.
I am an independent person and I am no one's pawn.
But members of the Senate Judiciary Committee can side with just one in their vote today, and the clock is ticking. With a full vote of the Senate for confirmation expected as early as Tuesday, there are no plans for testimonies from the other 2 accusers or that witness, Mark Judge. Reporting from the Capitol, Lana Zach, ABC News.
And we're hearing now, including from Time Magazine, there's been an increase in reports to the National Sexual Assault Hotline nationwide. More on this trend now from our Marla Spence. Marla?
Hey, Ray, as millions of Americans listen to Christine Blasey Ford testify about her accusations that Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her 36 years ago, her testimony brought up personal memories, causing many to dial into the sexual assault hotline. The National Sexual Assault Hotline saw a 147% increase in calls yesterday compared to any other day. The organization says it often sees an uptick in survivors asking for help when sexual assault is in the news, but yesterday's spike is something dispatchers haven't seen in quite some time. 2 years ago, the hotline spiked by 33% when President Donald Trump's conversation with Billy Bush was caught on an Access Hollywood tape. The hotline also saw an increase of 57% over this past weekend when a second accuser against Kavanaugh, Deborah Ramirez, came forward. Now, the big question surrounding these allegations and the alleged sexual assault and so many others is, why do victims wait so long to come forward? Some experts say victims find it easier to pretend to be normal and live a lie than face the horror of sexual abuse and trauma. Those experts also saying victims fear losing their job, support network, housing, reputation, and even their lives. Now, the hashtag why I didn't come forward, or why I didn't report rather, is also trending on Twitter. Thousands of sexual assault victims taking to the social media platform to speak out on their personal stories and why they never came forward. Many victims recounting their heartbreaking sexual assault stories happening to them as early as childhood. Ray?
Okay, thank you, Marla. For information on the sexual assault hotline and breaking news and the latest forecast, check out our app under WWSB or under My Suncoast. Congress has reached an agreement on fighting the nation's opioid epidemic. Negotiators in the House and Senate have agreed to increase enforcement efforts against illegal drugs, fast-track research into non-addictive painkillers, and make it easier for those with opioid addiction to get treatment. Lawmakers have worked over the past few weeks to resolve key differences and merge the two versions into a single bill. The House could vote as soon as next week. An update this morning on local Democrats' plans to name a replacement for the late April Freeman in the 17th Congressional District race. Freeman died suddenly earlier this week. A replacement will face Republican State Senator Greg Steube in the fall election. Now, due to the late date, Freeman's name will still appear on the ballot. The deadline for the Democrats in the 9-county region to name a replacement is Tuesday. The winner again will replace Congressman Tom Rooney, who is retiring from Congress. Another update now on a state appeals court that'll hear out the public records dispute between the state health department and a Broward County nursing home where residents died during and after Hurricane Irma. More than a dozen seniors died at this rehab center at Hollywood Hills. This past spring, the department was ordered to turn over death certificates from across the state to lawyers from the facility. Now, the facility is hoping to point out where others died during and after Hurricane Irma last year. A court date on this now is set for November the 6th. First alert traffic, one of Manatee County's most dangerous intersections, will now get a roundabout even faster. Last week, 2 teenagers died on the intersection of State Road 64 and Pope Road at the entrance to Greyhawk Landing in eastern Manatee County. In response to that fatal accident, state traffic experts say they'll be coming up with a temporary solution to the dangerous intersection starting Monday. The left turn lane to Pope Road will be closed in order to start building a roundabout there. FDOT urges everybody to obey the speed limit as they travel through the construction zone. Happening today, All Faiths Food Bank will host its first ever autumn harvest event. It'll take place in the food bank's newly expanded warehouse on Blakey Court in East Sarasota County from 6:30 until 10 p.m. To find out more, look for the story on our website, mysuncoast.com. Well, a wake is set for this afternoon for the longtime spokesman of the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Dave Bristow passed away suddenly earlier this week at the age of 59. Bristow worked for the Sheriff's Office since the 1980s. He was also the radio voice of the Manatee County High School football team, the Hurricanes. He also worked at Channel 7 here after college at University of Florida. The wake is today, the funeral is tomorrow. Bristow leaves behind a wife and 2 daughters. Still no word yet as to how he suddenly passed away. Northport Police just got bigger. The department swore in 5 new officers yesterday. The 5 bring a combined 60 years collective experience to the department. Names include Michael Bott, Paul Harvey, Jeremiah Sayed, Nick Monahan, and Daniel Alex. And some other Northport officers played basketball yesterday with some local kids in the community. The Basketball Cop Foundation supplied everything for the pickup games at the lakes at Northport. Northport Police posted this video to their Facebook page of the officers' highlights from the day. Looks like they had some fun out there yesterday. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the World Rowing Masters Regatta going on at Nathan Benderson Park. We'll have a preview for you. Later in the hour, small businesses in the Suncoast receiving help in the wake of red tide. It is 5:10 right now on this Friday morning, September the 28th. Here's a shot outside our studios. Looks very peaceful right now, but earlier, about 5 hours ago, I was awakened by those thunderstorms. John, you too?
Oh, sure, yeah. So were all the dogs, by the way.
Yeah.
It was really a light show, and it poured down rain in some locations. I think we may see a similar sort of situation again today. We'll have a late onset to the showers that form, and that's why I've checked the rain box. Although I think the heaviest of the rains may actually well occur after drive time has finished. There still could be a shower or two around, so hence the check box. Upper 80s on the way back with a few storms around, but for the morning commute, A-OK. No airport delays, according to the FAA, for any of the hubs serving Sarasota, Bradenton International. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Me. Oh, come on, man. Oh man, I love technology. Hey, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids, build great futures.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Pets bring so much joy to our lives. They're loyal, they're protective, and smart. Yet as smart as our pets might be, they can't advocate for themselves, especially in the event of a natural disaster. During Hurricane Harvey, many families were separated from their pets. That's why it's important your pet is part of your family's disaster preparedness plan. Talk to your veterinarian and visit banfieldfoundation.org/disaster. Don't save it for a rainy day.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
100% relative humidity out there, and we have even had some sprinkles in the last couple of hours in Manatee County, kind of lifting north now. It's out of the area, but nevertheless, an indication of still how humid and moist the atmosphere is. We have a 73-degree temperature, a dew point value the same, 100% relative humidity out there. As we head through the morning hours, I think we'll have a fair amount of sunshine once dawn breaks. That'll get us up to a daytime high of low 90s, close to the 90-degree mark. And then we'll start to think about factoring in chances of showers at about 3, 4 o'clock. I think that really starts to pick up about 5, 6, 7 o'clock. And that probably lingers right straight through maybe the midnight hour until everything just winds down. And we're left with a mostly cloudy to start overnight, but then by dawn tomorrow, we should have a partly cloudy sky or a partly sunny sky actually as dawn breaks. We have nothing over land right now, but a cluster of showers out in Gulf waters, which looks kind of ominous, but it is not going to bother us here on land. It is going to continue to pull away. It will give the skyline kind of a cloudy appearance, though, on the horizon. Those clouds lifting northward, drier, more stable conditions settling in. A dawn that'll feature a fair amount of sunshine, I think, and temperatures rapidly rising. That's what we'll see as we head through the morning hours. We still have this big area of high pressure located just to our north. It's directing our winds out of the east. And what that will mean will be, again today, the showers will come at us from the east and from the south, and they'll lift northward or northwestward along our sea breeze front as it builds. This frontal boundary separating the cold air from the not so cold air over the deep south in this Florida peninsula will basically just stall out and wash away with time. High pressure will continue to build in, maybe even strengthening a little bit as that area of troughiness sort of just decreases and washes away, flattens out, opens up. And we'll see that high pressure ridge giving you a sinking dome of air that'll help suppress the showers a little bit over the weekend, I think, and draw in some drier air as well. So maybe a little less rain chance over the next 24 hours. Mostly sunny skies with late thunderstorms, slightly drier over the weekend, and the tropics are calm for the state of Florida right now. We have two systems that we continue to watch. Leslie, the old Leslie, disturbance number 1 we're calling it now, has about a 90% chance of developing, but it meanders out in open Gulf waters and is not really a problem. Kurt, we'll talk about that more in the next half hour. It continues on a track that'll take it west. No problems for the state of Florida. We'll watch a pretty decent day for boating. Southeast wind turning west with that sea breeze in the afternoon at about 10 knots. And a daytime high that'll top out pretty close to the 91 mark will make it feel nice to be out there on the waters. 30% chance of showers today. We'll take it down to 20% chance on Saturday, maybe even remove the rain chance for one of the 2 weekend days. And then as we head into next work week, we'll trim that rain chance back up. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Checking the roads. 2 issues there now in Manatee County. 301 northbound, or as it right there appears to be going eastbound, as you approach the interstate in Ellington. Some congestion there. And also you'll see out there on the left side of your screen on Cortez. As you come off the Cortez Bridge, some congestion there as you work your way towards 75th. Farther south, there's a scene in the northern half of Sarasota County. One little red blip there down by Stickney Point and Clark Road at 41 southbound. Otherwise, not too much. And then our South County map, nothing to report as of this hour at 5:18 on your Friday morning. Well, the races are underway now in the 2018 World Rowing Masters Regatta. Nearly 700 rowers from around the world are competing right now at Nathan Benderson Park in Sarasota County.
And just at the finish there, just slightly pulling away with a little bit more juice at the finish line, winning one of the best match races we have seen in the singles racing so far this morning, day 1 of the World Rowing Masters Regatta.
It's just wonderful. You know, for many, many years, we were up at 4 in the morning to be at the boathouse at 4:45, but we rowed together for each other. It works every part of your body. It makes you feel great. You get out on the water.
We continue to row. 1 is because you need to stay active as you get older, for sure. And 2, the camaraderie. It's fun. Try it.
I think it's such a graceful sport, seeing these boats with 8 people rowing all together. I had the opportunity one time to sit in a boat and try to learn, and it's not as easy as it looks from on the sides.
It's amazing just to see so many people working together and just the boat sliding across the water.
We have awesome competition, yeah, and they're wonderful rowers, so it's a good incentive to row harder and to just stay with it. For a rower, you want to try to hit the head of the Charles, you want to hit nationals, and then if you ever dream of getting to Worlds, you have a chance. If you don't do it, I can't do anything for you. This was a true dream come true.
There are rowers here from 366 clubs from around the world right now at Nathan Benderson Park. Great story. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Tesla CEO Elon Musk facing a federal lawsuit while some want him removed from his own company. And next half hour, the Carolinas are still struggling with the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. Those stories and much more on the way. First, a peek outside our studios. This is how it looks right now in the Rosemary District and looking south at the downtown skyline. There are some showers right now percolating in the Gulf. More on John's forecast and more news on the way on Good Morning Suncoast.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords. All on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Love to know how many of you were awakened by the storms last night. Boy, around midnight, I do not recall such a loud rumble of thunder and lightning, and really quite a noise. You folks hear it as well? Let me know. Go to our website and tell me all about your experiences. We were woken up at our place. 5:23 right now on your Friday morning. Well, new survey says Americans are getting married later, and one reason is college bills. Yeah, a new survey shows the average man gets married now at 30, and the average bride is 27. Experts say part of the reason is huge debt. Many graduates are paying off that first. Others say the ages are later due to couples living together first before they get married officially. The survey was done by the University of Wisconsin at Madison. The federal government is suing Tesla CEO Elon Musk. Details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Tesla's Elon Musk has tweeted his way into fraud charges.
The SEC wants Musk removed as Tesla chairman and CEO. He's accused of making false statements when he tweeted he might take the company private. Musk called the government's move unjustified. And Amazon is making a new move into brick and mortar retail.
It's opening a general store in New York, calling it Amazon 4-Star. The store will be stocked with Amazon's best-selling items. The price of items will fluctuate, but Amazon Prime members will always pay the online price. And finally, LG is offering a sneak peek of its new 5-camera smartphone.
That's 3 cameras in the back and 2 on the front. It's available in 3 colors, gray, red, and blue, and the company plans to reveal more details about the phone next week.
Well, those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Macy's.
Verify all systems ready for launch. Initiate countdown.
How do you top mac and cheese? Start with 100% clean ingredients, like Vermont white cheddar. Then add bacon, barbecue chicken, or Baja blend. Catering and delivery now available. Panera, food as it should be.
Advil presents a big breakthrough in pain relief. Advil Liquigels Minis, a mighty small pill with concentrated power that works at liquid speed. You'll ask, what pain? Advil Liquigels Minis.
According to Golf Digest, 2 of the nation's top golf resorts are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, the Auburn Opelika Marriott at Grand National, and the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham. Plus, the Marriott at Grand National was recognized as Hotel of the Year by Marriott International. Experience luxury and world-class golf Southern style. Visit rtjgolf/resorts or call 800-949-4444 to book your trip to the trail.
The day you lose your strength is the day you lose your independence. Muscle is lost with age, affecting your energy, balance, and mobility. Before you know it, you're depending on others just to get through the day. But you can reverse and prevent muscle loss. Introducing MyoHealth, a revolutionary proven approach to increased muscle strength and function in as little as 30 days. Live life on your terms with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind Your Meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Red tide causing some local businesses to take advantage of a government program. We'll hear from a business owner who rents kayaks along the coastline. We'll show you how restaurants in Bradenton, meantime, are teaming up in October to bounce back from the effects of the toxic algae bloom. And a new canine will join a local police force, all thanks to an NFL quarterback. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning. It is Friday now, September 28th. I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us. Stephanie Webb is off today, kind of taking turns this week. John Scalzi has not missed a beat all week long. He's got today's forecast.
Strong like bull. We're looking at a few scattered showers out in Gulf waters right now. Those are really of no importance to us here on the coast. They stay out there. One lone shower produced a little bit of quick drizzle over parts of inland Manatee County, but that's gone now as well. So it should be a pretty quiet morning for your morning commute. Now, cloud cover, I'll still have some residual cloud cover around, but that should mix away pretty quickly and bring us a mostly sunny sky once dawn breaks and we start to get some daytime mixing. 76 degrees is a popular number in inland areas, closer to 77 as you get closer to the coast. Top it out today, again, warm, coming in at around 91 degrees. We'll have about a 20% chance of a shower starting around 3 o'clock, but I tell you, it's really around the time of 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock when the things will start to pick up just a little bit. We'll get more thunderstorm activity, which could linger into around the midnight hour once again tonight. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Here's a live look now at the Nathan Benderson Park in Sarasota County near I-75 and Fruitville Road and University. That's the finish tower. That's the finish line. And that's where the judges watch from. Big races going on today, tomorrow, and Sunday. The 2018 World Rowing Masters Regatta. Hundreds, if not thousands, of rowers from 300 clubs around the world are here. Could be good fun to go watch that if the weather cooperates, as John is talking about right now. Let's check the maps. Here's the scene first off in Manatee County. Some buildup there on 301 as you head toward the Ellington Outlet Mall and under the interstate there. Also Cortez, some congestion early on eastbound as you head over the water there toward 41. Farther south, here's the scene now in the northern half of Sarasota County. Nothing really to speak of. You guys get one little red dot there on University at 301 as you cross over there. Nothing major though. And then farther south, all clear at 5:32 this morning. Our top story, a committee vote today on the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh to the U.S. Supreme Court. Senators are trying to reconcile two emotionally charged and opposing testimonies from Kavanaugh and a woman accusing him of misconduct 35 years ago. Over the course of more than 8 hours yesterday, Democrats expressed frustration by a lack of an FBI investigation, while Republicans are frustrated that the allegation was revealed late in the process when information surfaced weeks ago. A first committee vote should happen today on Capitol Hill. Now we're learning more about a spike in calls to a national sex assault hotline. Details on this from our Marla Spence, who joins us now live from the studio. Marla?
Hey Ray, as millions of Americans listen to Christine Blasey Ford testify about her accusations that Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her 36 years ago, her testimony brought up personal memories, causing many to dial into the sexual assault hotline. The National Sexual Assault Hotline saw a 147% increase in calls yesterday compared to any other day. The organization says it often sees an uptick in survivors asking for help when sexual assault is in the news, but yesterday's spike is something dispatchers have not seen in quite some time. 2 years ago, the hotline spiked by 33% when President Trump's conversation with Billy Bush was caught on an Access Hollywood tape. The hotline also saw an increase of 57% over this past weekend when a second accuser against Kavanaugh, Deborah Ramirez, came forward. The big question surrounding these allegations of sexual assault and so many others is, why do victims wait so long to come forward? Some experts say victims find it easier to pretend to be normal and live a lie than face the horror of sexual abuse and the trauma they've experienced. Those experts also say victims fear losing their job, support network, housing, reputation, and even their lives. Now, the hashtag #WhyIDidNotReport is also trending on Twitter. Thousands of Sexual assault victims taking to the social media platform to speak out on their personal stories and why it took them forever or not at all to come forward. Many victims recounting their heartbreaking sexual assault stories happening to them as early as childhood. Ray.
Thank you, Marla. For information on the sexual assault hotline, breaking news, and the forecast, check out our app under My Suncoast or WWSB. Well, a sad update this morning on a missing boy from North Carolina. The 6-day search has come to an end now. The FBI announced they believe they found the body of Maddox Rich. The 6-year-old with autism disappeared from a park last weekend. A body was found a mile east of the park, partially submerged in about 2 feet of water. Last night, a vigil was held for Maddox. No word yet on the exact cause of death. Well, 2 weeks have passed now since Hurricane Florence struck the Carolinas, and the storm's aftermath is still being felt. Reporter John Lawrence shows us what residents are facing as they arrive back home.
The Carolina coast is attempting to cope with the effects of Hurricane Florence. Rivers are cresting in some spots, but floodwaters are still a factor.
It's just like like you're in a world of nothing but water. And it's just almost, it's haunting, it really is.
Georgetown, South Carolina was among the areas hit especially hard, but people there were up for the challenge.
It's nice and refreshing to see that all the communities just coming together as one, so we're all Americans and treating each other like we're supposed to.
When you're stood up like this on state active duty in a time like this when citizens need the help, that's such a motivator for our soldiers and airmen.
In addition to the flooding and damage, officials in both North and South Carolina say there's a bunch of Florence-related health issues to worry about. That includes the bacteria, viruses, and pollutants living in the murky waters, and an increase in disease-spreading parasites. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper has ordered $4 million to boost mosquito control. He's convinced the state will rebound stronger.
After I leave these places, I take away emotions of desperation and despair, but they're mixed with gratitude and determination and hope.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
A city on the Suncoast is looking to make its seasonal fertilizer ban year-round. Northport is not directly on the Gulf, but it's made up of hundreds of canals that flow into Charlotte Harbor and eventually into the Gulf. And that's why commissioners are talking about the possibility of extending the fertilizer ban.
I think a lot of people move here and they're not familiar with, the impacts. They want green grass and flowering plants, but we have to be cognizant of what those impacts are ultimately.
The city is looking into holding a special meeting with Mote Marine to learn more about how the city can minimize the impacts of red tide. In the city of Venice, a voluntary ban on nitrogen fertilizers is currently in effect. The Sarasota County Fertilizer and Landscape Management Code bans using fertilizers containing nitrogen or phosphorus on turf or landscape plants from June 1st until September 30th. Now, the city says at this time a stricter ban is not an option because Florida law partially prevents local governments from regulating the use of fertilizers. The federal government is also helping small businesses hurt by the ongoing red tide crisis. About 60 businesses locally have applied for a loan so far from the Small Business Administration. Small businesses can apply for 30-year loans for up to $2 million. One man who runs a bike and kayak rental says red tide and its effects have decimated business, losing thousands of dollars in months, he says. He says these loans are crucial to help shops like his get back on their feet.
You don't know what it's going to have on the long-term effect because would you spend thousands of dollars next summer coming to Sarasota if there's a chance there's going to be red tide?
In order to apply for this loan, businesses must have a great credit history and collateral for loans that are greater than $25,000. The deadline to apply is next June. The city of Bradenton is working together to increase traffic as red tide continues to plague restaurants as well. The Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau is launching Restaurant Month for October. Throughout the month, restaurants will be promoting 30-day deals to showcase restaurants that are suffering from the loss of tourism dollars. For a list of those restaurants taking part, you can find the story on our website under mysuncoast.com and the Red Tide section. Bradenton Police will receive a new canine officer thanks to a quarterback? Yeah. The police department's Bradenton Blue Foundation will receive a grant given by Ben Roethlisberger's foundation. He's the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback who just beat the Bucs this past week. Lieutenant Brian Thayers with the police department says the money will be used to purchase a new, fully trained canine who will be used for detecting narcotics.
This is unmet budgetary requirements. We don't have a budget for a dog this year, so this is funds that go, above and beyond to provide this need for our community.
This is the 12th consecutive year Roethlisberger has conducted the campaign to support canine units for police and fire departments throughout the United States. Very nice niche there for him. Still ahead, is too much screen time affecting kids' ability to learn? Well, a story for you. And a breakthrough in a salmonella vaccine that could save lives. Those stories coming up first. Here's a peek outside our studios as you awaken on this Friday morning. Very peaceful out there as we look south on Lemon toward downtown Sarasota. John Scholes, he's tracking some showers off in the Gulf right now, sir.
Yeah, they really won't be a problem for us. We'll enjoy much more pleasant weather as we see across our region, all area roadways dry for us. That's good news. If you're watching the red tide reports, you'll know that today, as of the last Mote Marine Spotter report, we have one beach, Holmes Beach, coming in with no apparent irritant in the air. Of course, that can change with wind direction, you know that. And the new reports come out at 10 o'clock this morning or so, and we'll have those for you at noon. Other beaches reporting just low amounts of irritant in the air, so good news there. The beach report for today calls for about 87 degrees with a UV index of 10. Complete forecast in a minute.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Watch Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7. Premieres September 8th.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current air temperature comes in at 73 degrees. We have 100% relative humidity because temperature and dew point are exactly the same. We'll head into the afternoon with a little bit more sunshine, I think, after we mix away some of these morning clouds. But right now, we do have some cloudiness around. By around noontime, I think our temperatures will start to be climbing into the 80s solidly, and by 3 p.m., we'll be in the 90s, low 90s most likely. And then we'll start to watch a couple of showers kind of drift up from the south or from the southeast, and those showers will start to bring us some rainfall in inland areas, particularly in the second half of the afternoon and into the evening hours. Those showers will probably become a little bit stronger as we head into the 4, 5, 6 o'clock time frame, boost up the rain chance to about 30% at that point. And then they'll linger as they move out into Gulf waters until around midnight or so, off and on. So the rain chance is pretty good, not all that great like we have seen in past weeks, but still for this time of year, pretty good. Tomorrow, the rain chances will be going down just a little bit as high pressure continues to build in, and a sinking dome of air tends to suppress our showers. Not much on radar right now. Morning commute should be fine. Those were the clouds that were left over from yesterday's storms. They have since moved on, but some of the residual cloud cover is still around. That, as I said, will be mixing away with a little bit of heating after dawn. High pressure brings us the easterly wind flow right straight through the weekend. The only difference being that as this little trough of low pressure to the north washes away, high pressure gets to expand and build across the area. When that happens, our rain chance goes down just a little bit. Easterly wind flow will still give us the same kind of motion and timing of these storms, but there'll just be fewer of them once again. Mostly sunny skies with late thunderstorms, slightly drier over the weekend, and calm tropical weather for us here on the Suncoast. We have two systems which we watch, one which was Leslie, probably will develop into a subtropical system as it meanders out here in the open Atlantic, but is no bother to anybody. And then Tropical Storm Kirk. Kirk is not showing very good organization at this hour. Now, yesterday, it was pretty clear what was going on. The center of the storm was racing away from the actual thunderstorm development. And now it's hard to even find the center, which is located over here. So this is a storm that is in the process of decay. And over the course of the weekend, even though it has significant winds now at 50, it is only forecast to be alive for another, probably 24 to 36 hours before it just decays away in the Caribbean. Still far away from the Florida Peninsula, it will have no effect on our weather whatsoever. Southeast wind switching to the west, switching to the north, switching back to the east at about 5 to 10 throughout the day. And the forecast calls for several days in a row of less rain chance as we head into the weekend. And then next work week, rain chance back to about 30 or 40%. Right?
Thank you, John. Talk to you soon. All right, checking first alert traffic right now. Here's the scene in Manatee County. Some buildup now on State Road 64 westbound around West Bradenton. Nothing major so far, though. Also, State Road 70 on either side of the interstate westbound. Checking farther south now. Here's the scene in the northern half of Sarasota County. Bee Ridge showing some activity now, particularly eastbound around Shade and Tuttle and Beneva. Otherwise, not too bad so far this morning. And then farther south, this is the scene in the southern half of Sarasota County. Some buildup there on 41 around Tarpon Point and Warm Mineral Springs around the Sarasota and Charlotte County line. In this hour's Health Smart, we talk and we joke about the amount of time that kids spend looking at video games and other electronics. But a new study shows it is impacting their ability to learn. ABC Stephanie Ramos has a closer look.
SpongeBob, Sesame Street, Dora the Explorer, we all know them as seemingly harmless kids' TV shows. Many of them even promote learning. But could spending that much time in front of a screen cause kids to perform worse academically? According to a new study out of Canada focusing on 8 to 11-year-olds, this may be unfortunately the case. The average American child spends 3.6 hours, nearly 25% of their waking hours, watching TV, playing video games, or engaging in other screen-related activities. This amount of screen time was linked to declines in memory, processing speed, and attention span. Too little sleep and physical activity were also associated with worse cognition. So what's the optimal amount of time for 8 to 11-year-olds? Per guidelines, less than 2 hours of screen time, aim for 9 to 11 hours of sleep, and no less than 60 minutes of physical activity daily. Only 5% of the children in the study reached these daily goals. With this Medical Minute, I'm Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
In other medical news, a breakthrough in the development of a salmonella vaccine. The disease kills nearly 1 million people around the world. Researchers from the Center for Comparative Medicine looked at 2 different kinds of T cells and how they worked in fighting off salmonella. They're able to find which cells successfully protect against the virus. Their next goal is to try to develop synthetic ways to make a vaccine. Entertainment news now. The American Music Awards will honor the Queen of Soul next month. Gladys Knight, CeCe Winans, and musical director Ricky Minor will pay tribute to Aretha Franklin's gospel roots and her iconic album Amazing Grace. She won 6 AMAs through her career and even hosted the event in 1976 and 1983. The event airs live on ABC October 9th from the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. Well, the new Murphy Brown reboot is getting lots of attention due to a special guest star. Hillary Clinton makes a surprise appearance. She'll play a woman interviewing for a secretary job at Brown's fictional cable news show. Murphy Brown was a big sitcom back in the 90s. They say they're going to tackle some ongoing issues in their new reboot this go around. Big day for golfers. The 2018 Ryder Cup is now underway. The U.S. will be going for its 2nd straight Ryder Cup, but it would be the first in Europe since 1993. Now, Europe is looking to bounce back from a rough loss 2 years ago. The Cup kicked off overnight about 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time, and the second session begins at 7:45 this morning. 5:50 right now. We'll come back and update the day's top news headlines for you. But first, here's a peek outside at the atmosphere outside our studios. Boy, you might have heard the thunderstorms and lightning about midnight. Boy, I certainly heard those. Probably you did as well. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
This fall, experience golf at a higher level, where the courses are exceptionally beautiful and incredibly challenging. On Alabama's Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, enjoy unlimited golf, including cart and range balls from $112 a day. Beautiful, deadly, irresistible. Is your game ready for the trail? Call 800-949-4444 or visit rtjgolf.com for tee times and get your game on. The Trail.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Welcome back. 5:54 right now. There's a look outside our studios. A well-lit downtown Sarasota, still drying out from some overnight storms. John's forecast is about a minute away right now. Let's check the top headlines as you awaken this morning. A vote is expected today in the Senate Judiciary Committee. The committee spent the day yesterday listening to a woman accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct from 35 years ago. Democrats in the District 17 region are scrambling now to replace April Freeman in the local congressional race. They have until Tuesday to do it. Freeman suddenly passed away this week at the age of 54. 2,000 rowers from around the world are in Sarasota County right now taking part in the Masters Rowing Regatta at Nathan Benderson Park. The finals are set for Sunday. Next hour, a plane crash in a lagoon in Micronesia. We'll have details on how the passengers survived. Amazing video of that one. But first, one last peek at the forecast this hour from John Scalzi.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. The three things to take away from the forecast today are warm and humid with an east wind right straight through the weekend. We'll have dry mornings each and every day with late day showers and thunderstorms that could linger into the evening hours. But over the weekend, less weekend rain around, with rain chances actually eliminated on one of the 2 weekend days. We'll talk about that coming up in the next half hour. Back to you, Ray.
All right, John. Also, next hour we'll start with the story from Capitol Hill, from the Dixon office building, where Brett Kavanaugh, the federal judge, was on the hot seat yesterday defending himself against some accusations from 35 years ago. We'll have both sides of that story and how the Senate Judiciary Committee is expected to vote as early as today on going forward or not with his nomination. Certainly an ongoing soap opera breaking out there in the nation's capital, unprecedented perhaps since Clarence Thomas back in 1991. Much more news next hour. We leave you with a shot there of the Ringling Causeway. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.